Cheers, friends.
Hey there.
Welcome to Coronado Island.
A bridge away from San Diego.
Coronado Island, or more simply, Coronado, is technically not an island. It's actually a peninsula in San Diego County, California. So we want to share with you our little weekend getaway here on Coronado Island on the shoulder of San Diego. All the things there are to see and do here, the wonderful places that there are to eat, the beautiful beach that they have, where we stayed, and why we think if you're going to San Diego, this would be the retreat that you really want to take. Coronado Island is a beautiful place to visit, but there is a dark current that runs here that we really wish we knew about before we came, so stick around for later in the video. The Coronado downtown area is beautiful. This is like postcard beautiful. Little quaint shops, locally owned gift stores and restaurants. There are a couple chains here, but man, this is a relaxing little paradise outside of San Diego. There are a lot of beautiful patios out here. They really take advantage of the great weather and the scenic views. Dining along Orange Street in downtown Coronado is quite the culinary journey. We have fine dining, casual dining, international cuisine, local favorites, and plenty of outdoor seating to enjoy all those meals al fresco. The shopping along Orange Street is an eclectic mix, from boutique clothing stores to art galleries, souvenir shops, and lots of independent touches. You can spend hours here indulging in some retail therapy and discovering some real hidden treasures. I don't see bookstores very often.
Look at this one. It's fun looking.
Yeah?
Actually really soft.
And this is such a quintessential Main Street, and still alive and thriving. That is the heart of San Diego. What a striking difference. Now, checking out a play might not be what you would think about doing when coming to a nice beachy town, but given the fact this place has been here for so long, it's really well reviewed, has some great production values. So we're gonna go check it out.
We took a little time and we saw this play, Calpurnia Tate. The stage was set beautifully. They sang amazing. The production value overall was great. The subject matter just wasn't for us.
The play was just more of a slice of life kind of story. But definitely, if you're into theater, it's worth checking out, or if they're playing something you might be a little more familiar with, definitely worth your time. Even just strolling through the neighborhoods of Coronado Island is kind of a fun adventure. There's so much different architecture here, so much history. They really keep up their properties. Makes for a nice afternoon stroll. They have a lot of these beautiful green spaces just all around. And this yellow house behind me is where L. Frank Baum used to winter. He lived in Chicago, but he would come here for the winters because he loved Coronado Island and wrote 3 of the Wizard of Oz series books here. And just down the way from the house is, of course, Del Coronado. Originally opened in 1888, the Del Coronado brought the tourists to Coronado Island. It is one of the last remaining wood-built Victorian architecture beach resorts. Also, L. Frank Baum stayed here and is the inspiration for the Emerald City in The Wizard of Oz.
Walt Disney actually used the Del as inspiration for the Grand Floridian down at Disney World.
This is fancy. The interior is quite a bit different than the Grand Floridian. Much darker, but just as majestic. The lobby of the Del Coronado showcases a beautiful Victorian old world charm. but just below it is a hall of contemporary luxury shops. Here you can find designer labels and exclusive items for people with much nicer budgets than ours. The history of Del Coronado is everywhere. Presidents, movie stars, every type of celebrity has been through these halls. And the best feature of Del Coronado is how it opens up to Coronado Beach. And the sand here is super soft, silky smooth.
It's not crazy hot today. It just feels really good.
It's easy to see why Coronado Beach is consistently ranked among the top beaches in the United States. These sandy shores are a true Southern California gem, but every rose has its thorns, which we found out a little too late. Coronado Beach is close to 2 miles long with a dedicated dog beach at the north end. There's plenty of space here for people to spread out and enjoy the sunshine without feeling crowded. But the coast goes on, and there's really not much between Coronado and the end of the Silver Strand and the connection back to the mainland, but beautiful beach. I thought people weren't in the water because it's cold outside, but then we just saw this sign for the first time, and we've been down here for what?
45 minutes.
I noticed there's one by this lifeguard station. I think they'd have these signs at every entrance to the beach. Yeah, I want to see, there might be another one down there. I guess those people didn't see the sign either. It sounds like the lifeguards might be patrolling the beach and telling people to get out of the water. Probably 20 minutes beforehand, we were just like these people, soaking our feet in the Pacific Ocean. So we learned before you get too excited about your next beach vacation to the San Diego area, you'll want to go to this website to verify the quality of the ocean water before you pack your swimsuit. According to this site, chemicals and sewage from the rivers of Tijuana and northwestern Mexico can be carried up to these beautiful beaches and make it very hazardous to go in the water. Where the Del Coronado meets Coronado Beach, you'll also find some food stands and bars. The food and beverage here can be pretty pricey, but Orange Street is just a short walk away with its more affordable options. Vegas pricing on the drinks. You can also rent day beds, umbrellas, and chairs, but if you're staying at a hotel in the area, check with them first. They may have some complimentary options for you. Do not see any of those hazard warning signs here right in front of Del Coronado. That's disturbing.
Well, yeah, especially since there was none when we were in it.
We found one out by the lifeguard stand. We don't see any other ones on this horizon here. I read this sign when we first got here, and it did not warn us about the sewage. There's a sign that says it's a storm drain. Canal and the sand is for to help fresh water from the streets roll back into the sea. But yeah, main stairway here from the parking lot, nothing. Definitely recommend making your way out to Coronado Beach. It is a beautiful beach. The sand is soft and silky. This would make a great retreat from a busy day out in San Diego. It's really unfortunate about the water situation. I know they don't have any control about it. That's another country that's doing that. But still, it's worth it. Just come and sit on the beach, have a nice relaxing day, have the wind and the waves. Beautiful day just to sit out here and enjoy the sun. And the amenities you get from being right in front of Del Coronado, you have access to food and drinks at a premium price.
I've got 2 little squirrels over here. Oh, how sweet, look at them. Look, there's another one. One of the things I noticed about this beach is that it is very, very clean. There are tons of garbage cans and recycling bins up and down, and people use them. And it just makes for a really great beach experience. The sand is super soft, it's comfortable to walk without your shoes on, and you're super close to food and drinks.
California is no slouch when it comes to culinary endeavors. We were pleasantly surprised by all the food options on Coronado, and that includes some real gluten-free gems. Our first night on the island, we went to Buona, Forchetta, and it was molto bene.
Really soft, chewy, a great amount of salt, garlic on there. You know, with the oil and the vinaigrette, so good.
This is such a treat. I never really get to eat like this. It tastes as good as it looks. Normally gluten-free, I expect it to be a little dense, and this isn't. It's like so fluffy and light. It's so good.
Tina's on her second dish of pasta.
Right? Number 2. Notice no peppers, no spice. The other one was like crazy, crazy spicy.
The restaurant took over an auto mechanic shop, and they really embraced that heritage. Inside, you'll also find an Italian market that includes their gluten-free pasta. Now, this is where you do all your souvenir shopping. We really can't recommend Buona Forchetta enough, but be sure to get some reservations if you're heading this way. Better Buzz quickly became our morning stop.
This chai latte is really good. It's a great balance of sweetness, creamy, and cinnamon. Would definitely get it again. How do you like your coffee, honey?
I stopped last night and got a snickerdoodle latte. Today I asked for their most popular, and I got a caramel latte. It's really good. It's not bitter, it's just the right sweetness, and I got it hot. They do have a horchata iced latte in there. We might have to swing by later to grab that.
The gluten-free paradise bar was really tasty. It was felt like it was a mixture of granola, shortbread, chocolate. It had some kind of seeds in there. It was very light, just enough chocolate to kind of cut through everything else and not overly sweet. So I came to Little Frenchie's for lunch because I saw online that they had this decadent-looking cheeseburger. It's a Wagyu beef patty with raclette cheese poured over it. Looked amazing, sounds amazing. Ordered it medium rare, it came out well done. It didn't have a really strong raclette cheese taste to it like we had in New York. And I know comparison is the thief of joy, and maybe that's what's going on here. But I can't say we really had a big bite of cheese like I was hoping for.
They were a little stingy with the cheese. I was expecting, it came out in a tiny little cast iron pan, which the presentation was fun and the way they did it, your table was fun. But again, I was kind of anticipating the half a cheese.
I was wanting to come out with a big half wheel of cheese with it all melted on top and just scraping it off just like they do in New York. We would go back and try some other options. A lot of the food there looked really good. All the ingredients were quality. They were very fresh, very flavorful. Just wasn't what I was expecting.
On one of our walks to the Better Buzzed coffee shop, we noticed the advertisement for a patio happy hour at Steak, Chophouse and Grill. And it was way too nice of a day to pass this up.
Cheers, honey.
Cheers, babe.
The steak is super tender. It's got a great char on the outside, so it's crispy, and the chimichurri sauce is not overpowering at all. It's the Wagyu popcorn, so it's just regular popcorn, a little paprika and seasoned with beef fat. This flatbread is actually pretty thick, but it's good. It's really refreshing with the peppers on there. It's a very light sauce. The sausage isn't spicy or really salty. This is a really nice blend. Really easy to eat. Goes perfectly with this nice sunny patio and little drinks. So we've had a great day exploring downtown Coronado. It's such a relaxing place. It's very chill. It has that quintessential Main Street vibe. Lots of local shops, lots of places to eat. There are French restaurants where people speak French. There's Italian restaurants where people spoke Italian. There's Thai. There's all kinds of options there. All kinds of little boutiques run by locals. And it's just a world away. And so crazy when you think this is just right across the bridge from this.
The Coronado Ferry Landing is a transportation hub and hangout hotspot. The waterfront promenade is lined with palm trees, lush landscaping, and these little beaches that go right into San Diego Bay. As you get closer to the ferry dock, the vibe gets more touristy. This was the only spot that felt crowded this whole weekend. As the sun went down, so did the temperatures. We grabbed a cup of hot chocolate to help keep us warm while we waited for the ferry. There are two ferries that dock at the Coronado Ferry Landing. One takes you directly across the bay to the San Diego Convention Center, and the other will take you to the Broadway Pier, right next to the USS Midway Museum. We opted for the Broadway Pier ferry. This is a longer route which gave us a better view of the San Diego skyline. It was way colder out on the water, so unfortunately we couldn't stay on top and enjoy the views, but we found some comfortable spots down below and enjoyed the views from the windows. The ferries are one way of getting out to Coronado if you're staying in San Diego and want to visit, or vice versa. There's also Coronado Bridge if you're traveling by car. Parking is free at Coronado Beach along Ocean Boulevard. It's also free on Orange Avenue, but there is a 2-hour limit. There are two public buses that also cover the island. The 904 route stays on Coronado, and the 901 will take you over to downtown San Diego. Bus fare is $2.50 per ride. There's also a trolley tour that has a couple stops on Coronado Island, as well as all the popular spots in San Diego. So there are several options of getting back and forth to and from the mainland. On this trip, we're literally staying in a mansion. Originally built in 1908 for the sugar baron John D. Spreckels, the hotel sits right across the street from Hotel Del Coronado and the beautiful white sandy Coronado Beach. Glorietta Bay Inn still has 11 historic rooms inside the mansion, and they've added 89 rooms in the buildings outside. The inn is a beautifully restored Victorian property. There are so many ornate details just inside and out. This charming boutique hotel does offer a heated pool. Spreckels was into sugar, transportation, and real estate, but most of all, he's credited with putting San Diego on the map. He poured much of his life into making the city what it is today. At one point, he owned all but 5 parcels of Coronado Island and was president of so many companies he was paying 10% of all the property taxes collected by San Diego. So there's parking both in front and in back of the hotel. It's an additional $30 per night. However, we got a great deal in this room, which we'll get into later. From the hotel, we were easily able to access Del Coronado, Coronado Beach, and Orange Avenue. There's also a bus stop right out in front, so the whole island is pretty easily accessible. Despite its historic grandeur, Glorietta Bay Inn maintains an intimate and cozy atmosphere. There is some major construction going on right next to the Glorietta Bay Inn. While it is an eyesore, it was never an issue for us. There's also a $40 per night resort fee that covers the cost of Wi-Fi, continental breakfast, the heated pool, as well as beach towels and chairs that you can take over to Coronado Beach. Again, we got a great deal that covered this fee too. The hotel does offer this convenience station where you can purchase snacks and beverages. The complimentary continental breakfast was worth getting out of bed for. The breads and pastries were fresh. Every morning they offered some kind of protein in the form of eggs, sausage, or bacon. The fresh fruit was very fresh, ripe, and sweet. And I've never seen one of these before. It's an automatic pancake maker. Great idea, but poor execution. Now, we're used to staying in rooms with numbers, but this is the first time we stayed in a room with a name. While the rest of the mansion reflects its Victorian heritage, the rooms have been toned down a bit. There are just a few old world accent pieces like this dresser that kind of remind you that you're in a 1908 mansion. You're not going to find anything with this much artistic integrity in any modern furniture stores, that's for sure. They even dress up the extension cords so they're not too much of an eyesore. The rest of the furniture looks more modern, and they've added conveniences like this power strip with USB connectors. There were some minor blemishes in the room, but really nothing major. Our room was on the back side of the mansion, so we had a beautiful view of the construction next door. San Diego is known for its year-round beautiful weather, so it's really nice that you can actually open these windows. Unfortunately, there's no Victorian-era clawfoot bathtub to soak in. The towels still had some life to them, and they were soft to the touch.
We were fortunate enough to stay in one of the historical rooms, and the room itself is really well kept. It actually has windows that open. That's one thing you never see anymore. It has crown molding, and it has a very large baseboard. The furniture looks like it came with the original room. The bed, though, has been updated and is very comfortable. The shower, the pressure is good, the water is hot. And one thing that I did appreciate at this hotel is that they did have a little sign in the bathroom asking people to help conserve water because we know California's in a drought.
The room might be from 1908, but they do have air conditioning. They've added a refrigerator, which is really nice. And of course you have
you're safe, and the ironing board and ironed. There were plenty of outlets. The location is also pretty nice. We're at the end of Orange Street, so we're at the end of the downtown area, right across the street from Del Coronado and Coronado Beach, so that's within easy access. The hotel does offer free beach towels and beach chairs if you want to take those out at the front desk. If you haven't heard of travelzoo.com, I highly recommend after this video you head over there and sign up. This website does a great job of curating travel deals from all over the web and even works with properties to negotiate their own deals. And that's how we found out about the Glorietta Bay Inn. Rooms here often go for $400 or $500 a night, and the rooms in the mansion are even more, so this was practically 50% off. This deal also included the $40 a night resort fee and the $30 a night parking fee, saving us an additional $70 a night.
A weekend in Coronado is the slowdown you didn't know you needed. There are so many locally owned small shops, a plethora of restaurants, and a lot of gluten-free options, and they were delicious gluten-free options. I love that the beach is 2 blocks away. I would have liked it to be a little bit warmer, but other than that, we had a wonderful time and we'll definitely be coming back.
So I'd just like to take a moment to thank all the friends we've made here on YouTube and your continued support. We love hearing your thoughts and your questions down below. And until next time, friends.
Cheers.